hear me?
Yeah, I do hear you. You called me before, right? I forgot.
No, this is my first time
Okay,
calling.
okay, all right, I'll see. It's my fault. So because the name, the last name, like remind me of someone lived this name too. Yeah, okay. So what do you like to say? Share with us, sister.
So I have an uncle, and he's in the last few years became more and more like extreme Muslim. He was never actually religious, but and then he found out I became a Christian, and now he's his aim is to uh, convert me back. But he brought something up that I noticed not hasn't been like spoken about on your show.
No problem. Go ahead.
So it's he said there's this contradiction in the Bible about how Judas killed himself.
Yeah.
And that there's two ways mentioned in Matthew that.
No, I know. Without telling me where. Let me tell you what happened. This is your uncle is an idiot. I'm not going in names with it, but this Christian prince he's talking. So the story is saying one, he gave extra details about what happened to him after he killed himself by hanging himself. Like if a person he hang himself and he is in a tree for a few days, how long his weight will hold? Not long, right? Because his body would decay, correct? So the body decay, and then he fell down, and his belly, because it's full now of fart, and the body is destroyed, and then explode. So this is not two different stories. This is the same story. One is giving us extra details after he killed himself. Not, have you ever heard of somebody, he died because his belly exploded? What he have TNT inside him? He ate shish kebab, C4. So what happened, that one story saying, one details, short details, he hanged himself. The other story saying, and then his body exploded. Why? Because his body decay after he hanged himself. Nobody took him down because nobody respect him, and then his body exploded. However, as long your uncle, he is looking for contradiction in the Bible. So shouldn't you ask him, as long he is very religious, how then the Quran says, مصدقا لما معهم? Do you speak Arabic?
Well, you know what? Yeah, I do understand Arabic. Okay. You know what? I did bring that up to him.
Yeah.
And he grew up in Canada, and he's not really good at reading Arabic, but so he's not like see, when I was a Muslim, I was memorizing Quran, and
At Amundi, investing your savings is our business. Assessing risks, sharing knowledge, seeking competitive performance. Staying focused and always striving to surpass ourselves. As the European leader in investment, Amundi consistently aims for excellence. Amundi, trust must be earned.
At Riley and BCE, we build high-quality, durable snooker and pool tables that we've been selling worldwide since 1897. Riley has a long and illustrious pedigree, having been the proud sponsors of many of the world's top snooker players, including Alex Higgins, Ray Reardon, Steve Davis, Stephen Hendry, Jimmy White, John Higgins, and the late Paul Hunter. Today, Ronnie O'Sullivan spearheads our Riley brand, and Mark Selby and Christoph Lambert lead the way for us with BCE. Our expertise extends to snooker cues too. We make a wide range of cues for all cue sports, including snooker, 8-ball pool, and American pool. Whatever your age or ability, we have the cue for you. Our entry-level ranges focus on playability that eases beginners into the sport, ensuring the best possible functionality and balance. Going up the scale, our cues become increasingly specialist, with build specifications varying depending on your level of play. Our cues include patented features that we have pioneered, including the wax system that allows you to adjust the weight of the cue with external weight-adjustable rings that can be added to a specially adapted and engineered spiral joint section. The weight rings can be removed or added, depending on your preferred weight, so you can experiment with different weights to find the perfect balance. You'll have a choice of ranges, from Riley England, ROS and Moderno, to the inspirational Grandmaster range and the Burwatt Black, our latest and most elite range of snooker cues handcrafted in the UK. Along with tables and cues, we stock all the accessories you could ever need. If you're not quite ready for one of our iconic championship tables, why not consider one of our home snooker or pool table ranges? We build our games tables with the same ethos and brand values that we build our commercial and championship tables with. From the cushion rubber and the thickness of the playfield, to the stability of the table and functionality of the unique, and in some cases patented, folding leg mechanisms. We have even managed to perfect multifunctionality within our ranges, combining pool, snooker and table tennis along with darts. We even have a 12 games in one option. When it comes to cue sports and quality craftsmanship, why not browse our site? You'll find everything you need right here.
I was memorizing hadith. I was like trying to do my best to be a good Muslim, and
Yeah. But
it's
the
like
problem,
kind of what you described. So I told him, this is what it says in the Quran, and he's like, "Oh, really?" Like he was shocked. And then I brought up the verse, and he saw it, and he's like, he really didn't know what to say, and he just started attacking me and saying I'm ungrateful, and this is because you know how Muslims
Yeah.
start to.
Should I call you by your name, or I will not mention your name? Which one you prefer?
I don't mind. You can call me Sarah.
Okay, Sarah. So, Sarah, if you see here, this is the Quran, and this is after 600 years after Jesus, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Chapter 2, verse 89. It doesn't matter if you speak Arabic or not, because he can read in any language he wants. It says, مُصَدِّقًا لِمَا مَعَهُمْ, confirming, believing in what is within their possession, So,
Yeah.
this is the book they have with them 600 years after Paul. Because the Muslims, they keep accusing Paul that he is the one who changed Christianity. I'm sure you heard that many times, right?
Yeah.
But as we see, Paul is already dead long time ago, and this is the Bible 600 years after, and the Quran confirming that I agree with the book they have in their hand. Not only we have one verse, we have tons of verses. So either the Muslims, they knew what they are talking about, or they are being hypocrite, trying to find an excuse. Secondly, I want you to take notes. Maybe you can write it down, or you can watch the video again when you call me. Isn't it the Quran sent by, the Injil sent by Allah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Apparently,
So
yes.
when your uncle, he says to you that the Injil is corrupted, is that our problem, or the problem of the God who owned the book?
Yeah. Yeah, the problem of the God who couldn't preserve the books.
Exactly. This is his honor. If you give me a book and I throw it in the floor in front of your face, that is what? Is a big insult. And if Allah in the Quran says, no, لا مبدل لكلمات الله, nobody can change the word of Allah, right?
Yeah.
So isn't it the Injil and the Torah is the word of Allah? If they say no, Allah, he meant the Quran only, that's even more stupid. Because he did not say nobody can change the Quran of Allah. He says nobody can change the words of Allah. Same time, if Allah, he want to protect only one book, and as long we believe, and the Muslim believe, according to Islam, that everything in Islam has happened by Allah will, then you need to ask your uncle a question: was the Bible corrupt according to the will of Allah, or against the will of Allah? And then your
Right.
uncle, he will go around the Kaaba 1,000 times thinking about this question, and he will not come with an answer.
Yeah, my uncle's been working on the mark on the head from smashing your head in the carpet. And I'm shocked, what happened to him. He used to be a very peaceful guy, and suddenly, he's into jihad. And
Yeah,
anyway,
Islam will
but
make
there's
you
something
possessed.
else.
Islam will make you
Yeah,
resist.
it's not normal.
You know what?
Yeah,
What about you?
and you know what he did too? You know what?
Yeah.
You know what else that shocked me? He married one of my family friends that's 2 years younger than me, and he's in his, so she would be maybe 24, and he's almost 40, and he's, before he became a very extreme Muslim, he's like, I don't want to just to get an arranged marriage, and I can't marry, and that's his cousin too, and I can't believe people marry their cousins. And so I'm just like, what's happened to him? It's like his brain shut off, and he became like a douchebag suddenly. But I think that's the spirit of Islam. That's what it does to you.
But marrying a female, she is 24. Well, she is a grown woman. I cannot put him.
Yeah,
down
she's
for
a
that.
grown woman,
Yeah.
but she's like, I know, but it's
No
like,
problem. You can say she is too young.
Anyway,
for him.
whatever.
No problem. As long as she accepts, as long he did not force her, as long he's not taking a like little child like Muhammad, he did not go
but
to
like
that.
I'm thinking, based on how he used to think versus
Yeah,
now,
he changed.
like
Yeah,
he
you're
would
right.
never
Islam
ever.
it
You think
changed.
that?
Islam is a
Yeah.
demonic religion. This is why you see a person who was always all his life is peaceful. The second he convert to Islam, he is satanic. He want to kill. He want to do jihad. He hate everybody.
Yeah.
He is always angry. He is not
Yeah,
comfortable.
and that's what I noticed with myself too. When I was still a Muslim, the more I go into depth, I have to hate everybody. Everybody's my enemy. But on the same topic about the Judas, that he also mentioned about what he did with the pieces of silver.
Yeah.
So in Matthew it says that he threw the bag of silver and left and ran away. And then in Acts it says that he bought and sorry, that the priests in Matthew, they rejected the money, right? And then
you see,
somehow they bought a land with it, right?
This is not a contradiction. Always you see in the Bible there is one person he gave extra details, and one person gave less details because it's already mentioned. So in the same time, for you, as a person trying to find if there's a contradiction or not, either the book is wrong, all of it, or it is right, all of it. And this is the case should be for the Quran. And if the Quran confirming what we have in our hand, then this person he have no question to ask, and those questions is not valid. But in the Bible, if a person he read, as an example, how many angels came to Mary? I can say, oh, it's an angel spoke to Mary. I can say angels came to Mary. But both of them are saying the same. Angels came to Mary. One he spoke, and the rest were there. Or one came, and there is no others. So, when people are looking for contradiction, they can find whatever they want because of their ignorance, not because of the contradictions exist. I can do the same in the Quran now. The Quran says that the angels came to Mary, and they said to her, we are here to tell you the great news, the glad tidings news. You will have a son. Different verse saying, Allah, he sent his spirit, appeared to her as a perfect man, correct? And he said to her, so is it an angel or the spirit? The Muslim, they will say then, it's an angel. The spirit is an angel. Okay, is it one angel or many angels? So this is, when somebody decides to be silly, he's trying to find a contradiction, but this is not a contradiction. There is many Christian website. You can go there and you can search. Is that a contradiction? And you go and you will find the interpretation, you will find the reasoning, and you will find tons of verses to connect the dots together so they can show you that this is absolutely not. We Christian, we have this book and we study. We are not like Muslims. We are not illiterate. We are, that the Christians is the one who
it's readable, in other words.
It is, yeah, and the story makes sense. Like if I go in the Quran, if I want to find a story about anything in the Quran, where I can find it? As an example, when the Muslims say to us,
can't find any stories.
when they say to us Moses, who is Moses? Just as an example, Moses is a very important figure, right?
Yeah.
Very important. I challenge a Muslim to call me and tell me who is Moses.
And how would they know the story from start to end, because it doesn't even talk about.
And not only that, okay, who is Israel?
Yeah.
What Jibril mean? I mean, those are important figures, right? This is not just a name like a Christian prince or a guy whose name is Khalid. No, this is the major things about Islam. They don't know what Israel means. When the dad was debating a Christian minister, he said to him, "Your God was struggling with Jacob." But the Quran says that Jacob, his name, but did not say it's Jacob, but it says Israel all over the Quran. But this is what the word means. So the idiot, did that. He was making fun of the story, how Jacob is struggling with God or wrestling with God, and in the same time, the whole Quran saying Israel, Israel, Israel. Because Muhammad is told
Yeah.
the word, he did not know what the word means.
Yeah, even before I became a Christian, I never liked Muhammad. I was
If I am you, I would like.
repulsed from him. Even though my mom's like in love with him, and I would kiss his feet, and I would kiss his, his behind. If all of this drama, and I'm just like, something about him isn't right, and it's like the more you read the hadith, it's like, it's like, especially me as a woman, it's like one day I just said, because you're so stressed, you're trying to be perfect. Even your voice is wrong. You shouldn't even. No one should hear your voice.
Yeah.
So
It's a terrorism religion because they terrify you. Are terrified even inside your house.
I know. So like it's like operating in the normal world we live in. It's like every little thing I'm doing is wrong. Even just being the thing that I was created to be. So I'm like, I'm going to hell anyway. I'm going to hell whether I do everything or whether I don't do anything
Isn't
at
Muhammad?
all.
He says the majority of women they go to hell.
Yeah. I told myself, if I'm going to hell both ways, I'd rather just love the people I see and just be positive and happy, and go to hell later.
Sarah, let us think together. We are not against modesty for sure. Modesty is good, but is Islam modesty? It's not, because
No,
if Islam is religion of modesty, modesty is not wearing a veil. Modesty is respecting women's body.
Actually, I'll tell you from my story.
Okay.
So I grew up with lots of boys. All my family was brothers, and so I was always playing with them. We were, I like an equal to them until I became a teenager, like 13. Everything flipped. My mom is nagging over my head. You need to wear a hijab. You need to wear hijab. I wasn't ready. So, but my mom, she just bought all the things that I needed to start to cover my hair and whatever. And they make you wear the really tight, the really tight like undershirts, or under your top or whatever. So if we go out and I said I'm still not ready to wear hijab, she criticizes what I'm wearing. Oh, it's too tight. Like you're so indecent. And then I'm like, okay, I'm just like, I guess she shamed me, right? I said, I want to make my mom happy. I'm going to wear hijab. And literally nothing changed. It's the same tight clothes that I had before, except now I wear that, the black undershirt, and I wrap something on my head. So it's the same tops I wore that are short or tight, but it's like, and my mom and my dad, so yeah, the more I grew up and the more I was reading, and I wanted to be the best Muslim I could be, I wanted to go to heaven. So later I'm thinking, I want to start to wear baggier clothes, longer clothes. I don't want to wear makeup. And my parents were making fun of me. They're like, you're too much, you're too serious, relax. And it broke my heart because, I thought they'd be proud of me. And anyway, also my mom, if we traveled somewhere that was not like a Muslim country, my mom back home, when we're, amongst relatives or whatever, or even if we go to the store, she wears the abaya, and
The
no
hijab,
makeup
cover
and
herself.
hijab, and she's so quiet and so conservative. You'd think she's sent from the heavens, right?
Yeah.
We
But-
go to vacation. She's wearing the swimsuit, and her breasts are out. And even once, my dad is like, cover up a little because I mean,
It's
it
too
was
much.
completely shameless, right? But I'm just thinking, like, if someone was really shy and true modest, and even if they went out to a different country and nobody knew them, even if you did have the freedom and no one would recognize you, I mean, wouldn't you still be shy, like, to expose that much skin? Or anyway,
No, but you
it's
see,
confusing. It's
me
confusing.
myself,
Yeah.
I will tell you my story now. In the graduation day, when I was finished my law degree, there's a girl I know in the university, but she is studying Arabic. She's not with me, and she's all wearing hijab. They wear the hat and the hijab, so
Yeah.
nothing can show, and
Yeah.
she always wear. But now, today she came and I was with some family because it's my graduation day, So she called me by my name, and I look, and I don't know who is this girl. I did not recognize her. I said, "Yeah, can I help you?" She said, "What? You did not recognize me?" I said, "No. Who are you?" Yeah, and her
Wow.
name is Farah. She said, "I'm Farah." I said, "What happened to you?" She's wearing.
So her family let her?
She's
They
wearing.
let her
She's
for her
wearing
graduation
a
day?
dress like this is Spanish style. Showing
Yeah.
the top of
Oh, yeah.
of her chest. Her breast is coming out. I said, "What happened to you?" She said, "No, don't ask me. My family are not here. Finally."
So she can breathe. She can,
breathe,
relax
she
a
can
little.
breathe. So Muslims when they second
Yeah.
they found, and this is now she is not in different country. Remember, and not only that, I
Yeah.
told her, but remember, you're going to take pictures. She said, "Don't worry, don't worry. I will hide those pictures from my family." Okay, don't worry. So she, and this is the case everywhere. The second they go out
Yeah.
of their atmosphere, the
Yeah.
shore, the bikini, and you mentioned your
Yeah.
mom, and but this is telling you how hypocrite this society is. They speak too much
It
of
is.
modesty, but
Yeah.
they themselves, the second they get the way to breathe, suddenly they jump in a swimming suit which doesn't fit even
Yeah.
for an ant.
Oh, now you made me remember another story, actually. This time it's my dad.
Okay.
So once we were sitting, we're all laughing, we're having a good time, staying up or whatever. And my dad wants to share a joke, I think. Anyway, he was telling us he was sitting with his friends. I think he was in Turkey, and he said, "Me and my friends were sitting at the nightclub, and we were smoking shisha, and I forgot really what the story was." And anyway, he finally finished the joke, and he's looking at us for reactions. He didn't realize that he exposed the fact that he was at a nightclub.
It was not a club
And
and,
my
and
mom-
smoking shisha.
Yeah, and my mom is just like, "What were you doing at the nightclub?" And he's like, "No. We were in the corner. I wasn't looking. We were,
Yeah, my head was
listen,
under the table.
just
Trust me.
lies. The
Yeah.
lies
Yeah.
are just unbelievable.
Yeah,
Like,
I forgot that.
he forgot
Yeah.
who he's sitting with,
So,
right?
oh,
Because
so
this
you
is
were
what
in
the men talk about
you were
when
in the
they're by
nightclub,
themselves.
huh? Oh no! I was not in the nightclub. We were,
Yeah.
smoking in the.
No, he was in the nightclub, but he was modest. He wasn't looking.
Yeah.
Sitting in the corner, and I was, covering his
Yeah, he
eyes.
is doing halal nightclub.
How does that make sense to you?
I mean, I know they are still your family, so I'm trying to be respectful. But Sarah, if you go to to any country, especially in Asia or any country, during the month of Ramadan, you will see the airport is flooded by Arab, Middle Eastern Muslims coming to those countries. Question: why somebody go vacation in Ramadan? They might say, well, I mean, there's not too much work. But we know why they are going there, because they don't want to fast. They want to go to nightclub. They want to go out with girls. They want to hire hookers, and they want to sleep around. And then they claim they are just going for vacation, but the fact we know what they do. So Islamic society is very awkward, hypocrite, and that's why I say you will not know who is a Christian, who is a Muslim, who is a Hindu, who is a Buddha, unless people have a freedom. What do you think, Sarah?
Yeah.
If I force everybody to act as a Christian, then I will not know who's a Christian, right? If I force everybody
Yeah.
to pray as a Christian, to talk as a Christian,
Yeah.
to worship as a Christian, then how I will know who's a Christian or not? So in our faith as a Christians, we have a
The
healthy
freedom allows you to see the true
the true
truth
person,
of
the true person. At the same time, it
Yeah.
filter the society. You know, the one like when you are like when you get the grain, between the grain there's bugs,
Mm.
there is insect, there is bad grain. So this is what the filter they do for. They have to filter it in order the bad things or dirt or rocks. So when you give a freedom to everybody, everyone goes where he belongs. But when there's no freedom, everybody is acting. I remember when I was a kid, I go to there's a Muslim kid. He come to my house, and I go to his house. So once I see his father. He is sitting in the couch, and he have a small little rock, and he keep hitting his head with it. It doesn't make sense.
Mhm.
And then I don't know.
Yeah.
I was really
Was he Egyptian? I know Egyptians love to have the mark on the head.
no. He's not Egyptian. Yeah. So I asked him later. I said, each time I go to your dad's house, and when your dad is there, he's doing this. Why he's doing that? He said because he want people to see that he pray a lot.
Yeah.
And he taught me to.
Well,
do
it's
that.
the same thing pretty much. Like, I mean, when you don't have a brain and going up and down like that, it's almost like just banging your head on the wall
Yeah.
for no
So what they
reason.
do, guys, they get the little rock and they stop hitting. Like doesn't hurt too much, but that will make a black spot in their head.
Yeah, I didn't know how they do it because I used to pray so much.
Yeah,
you know?
they aren't
I was
praying.
trying my
They aren't-
best, and
they
I
are not
I never got a mark on my head.
Yeah.
I'm like, how do these men have this mark on their head?
Yeah, they don't. This is not because of
That's
prayer.
the secret.
Yeah. They are not praying.
Yeah.
They are using those rocks because when they go out, people will say, "Oh, look how much they
Wow.
pray. They put their head in the floor."
And the short distachio
Yeah. So and the short distasha is the
Yeah.
full story.
and the sun dead. Okay, look. Did you ever hear of the hadith of there will come in the end days women who their heads are like the backs of camels, and
Yeah.
they will not be near the heaven or even smell it or something like that.
Yeah.
And we had to memorize this hadith in school, and I thought it was the stupidest hadith ever. Like I couldn't get over it. Like everything else, because at the time the style was like the girls, they put this big hair clip in the hijab, and it makes their heads look huge, and that the teachers were like, this is it. This is what's going to take all of you to hell, all these women.
Yeah. And Muhammad, he
And-
elaborate more. He added like if you do
Yeah.
tattoo, if you do, if you take hair from your face, if you take hair from your eyebrows.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I just said, wow. Like with all the possible things that a person can do,
This is the
this
problem.
is what's going to take me to hell.
Yeah.
So it felt so like stupid, it felt so stupid. I didn't know how to, it's just, even at the time when I was very absorbed in Islam, that was for me something that was so unreasonable. It felt almost like it was made up, like made up just a few days ago. Like I didn't think it's like from ancient scripture. I don't know if that's the truth or not.
Yeah. No, this guy Muhammad is mentally ill. He's just trying to scare them.
But where did this idea come from anyway? What was he trying to
He make it up. This is how he can scare. It's like when you speak to kids. When I was a kid, they told us there's a beast. So if you go away from the house, he will kidnap you. You know, this is the Middle Eastern culture. You know, they scare. You know, they make fear.
Yeah.
So you don't do what you should not do. So Muhammad, he followed this and he treated his people as a bunch of kids. Like because you know when the Jews they did fishing in Saturday, what Allah did, He made them pigs and monkeys.
Yeah.
So what about a person who raped a child? What do you do to him? Nothing. What about a person he killed? Nothing. What about a person? You know, I mean, fishing in Saturday, I will make the whole nation pigs and monkeys, and all what the Muslims do. I mean, look at them. And why the Muslims? Why the Muslim? Why did not ask him to not do fish in Saturday? Why did not say to them, don't work in Friday? You know. So all those stories, Muhammad, he is. And this is why we are saying, like in the Quran, the Quran says that he was an eerie. You know, he was an ear. I don't know if you know that chapter. Chapter 9, verse number 61. He is an ear. Why? Because simply whatever he hear, either he make it up or he hear it and he add it to the Quran. And all this.
And also another thing, I don't know if you know about this. I'm sure you do, but also in school we were told to memorize other like verses that they said this was Quran, but it's not included in the book. Like this is God's words.
Yeah, this is hadith Qudsi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that doesn't like that also is very strange to me.
Yeah.
Why
there is many verses actually, not only hadith. There's hadith Qudsi, which is supposedly as we said, and there's verses are gone, and the Muslim they say it's abrogated by recitation, but not by following, or it's abrogated by both recitation and following, which doesn't make sense. How you say to us that the Quran is preserved, and then you say to us there's many verses are abrogated by recitation, and even they are not in the Quran. As an example, where is the verse of stoning to death? It's not in the Quran. Should the Muslim follow it? Yes, should follow it. So why it's in the Quran? You know, it doesn't make sense. Why we should not, if the Quran is preserved, why this verse is not in the book if we should follow it? So Islam is messed up. This is why Yasser Qadhi said there is, you know, the standard holes has narratives. You know, the narrative has a standard hole. Well, guys, when you say
the standard narrative has holes in it.
Exactly. The standard narrative has holes. Yeah. So when this guy Mimi insists he wanted an answer, he wanted him to say, yes, the Quran is exactly the same. The guy is trying to be honest.
And then he's like, take my course, my e-course.
Yeah, take my course. He promoted himself, like, take my course. Yeah.
And I don't think after that,
And
after that, he destroyed himself completely.
Not only that, look how hypocrite
sadly.
they are. Look how hypocrite. The guy was their teacher and their master until that day. I mean, a second ago, the whole interview is about what? He is a student of knowledge, and Yasser Qadhi is a sheikh, correct? The second Yasser Qadhi, he gave them what they don't like to hear. Suddenly, all of them, they are in the top of this man. Tons of videos. He is kafir. He is a fake Muslim. He is not, you know, etc. But this is the nature of this religion. But I'm happy that you notice that Islam only makes sense for the one who don't have any sense.
Yeah, and you know, even when I was a Muslim, I knew that, you know, we had to. They say you have to believe in al-kutub al-ula or whatever. And when I met, because I was studying in Canada, and I met a lady at the university at a Bible desk, and she was giving away Bibles and stuff like that. Anyway, you know, I was lied to my whole life. I was told, you know, Christians, you have to be born a Christian. I didn't think anybody was allowed to be a Christian, you know.
Yeah.
And when I said, what are you doing here? Why are you sharing the Bible? Can anybody become a Christian? She's like, yes, of course. That's why we're here. We're trying to bring people to God, and also, you know, I got the Bible, and then she connected me to Bible study. But, you know, just I was wondering to myself, you know, Jesus was the one prophet who is still alive, and yet in Islam we hear more about Moses and we never talk about Jesus ever. Almost never.
Yeah, a few verses, and doesn't say really what
Yeah.
happened. Yeah.
Barely. And when I was reading the Bible with the rest of the people, and just seeing this man, I mean, for the first time, I got a taste of logic, like real just sanity, because everything I'm used to it's crazy, and you just have to tell yourself this is wisdom from God. We are too, we're just human. We'll never understand it, but there's a wisdom. That's what you have to lie to yourself always. Okay, it sounds crazy, it sounds stupid, but no, there has to be a wisdom. I'm just human. I'll never
Do you know
understand.
the hadith, Sarah? Excuse me, like you're like my sister, but you are mature enough. If I say, how old are you now?
I'm 26.
Okay, you are not that young, so we can say. There's a hadith
Okay.
says that when the Muslim he pray, shaitan he come from his back and he take hair from his anus. I want to know
Yes.
how in the world anyone have a little brain will believe such a stupid thing, because I mean,
Yeah.
this is not unseen. I mean, this is something you can feel, you know.
Maybe the spiritual hairs, not the physical hairs. Did you ever think?
It's in the anus. You know, if somebody touch your hair, you can feel it, correct? Just touch.
Yeah.
So how in the
Yeah.
world Shaitan is straight it out? Look, he is looks like making he's going to play music, so he straight the thing in the guitar, you know. You know the cartoon. And then the things break, and then Tom and Jerry he chase him and he take one from his mustache. So this is the Shaitan taking hair from the anus of the Muslim because he want to play the guitar. You know, and then Tom he run away.
Yeah.
And Jerry he choose him. So Muhammad he come with the same stories, and the Muslims they have to believe in those stories. And the second you question those stories, you are evil, you are bad, you are stupid, Shaitan deceive you. You know, how in the world anyone can believe in those?
And I want to know why the devil has so much time on his hands chasing everyone's butt. Like I'm sure he should have other things to do.
Well, no, you see, the Muslim, I don't want to be rude, but the Muslim butt is different. You know, he like it. I mean, everybody have a hobby. Come on.
Special time.
Sarah, please.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Now I understand why the prayer has to be at specific times, because the devil has a schedule.
He's waiting.
And so he doesn't want to miss the time.
Do you know the hadith that when Shaitan he came to Muhammad during the prayer?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so Muhammad he was praying.
Maybe I'll remember.
And then he started reaching out with his hand as he want to hold something during the prayer. So when did he finish? And he said things which is weird. When he finished, the Muslim they asked him, the Prophet, you did something strange when you were praying. What you did? What happened? So Muhammad he said,
was trying to.
Yeah. So Muhammad he says, oh, this is a shaitan. He was trying to disturb my prayer. And Muhammad during the prayer, he tried to catch him.
Wow.
Yeah. Let me find you the hadith so you can see it in the screen, and people will die.
That's a whole a whole drama by itself.
No, obviously it's a mental. This is mental illness.
He has a mental illness.
This is mental illness. This is no way. Here we go. This is the hadith, and this is sahih. Muslim cannot say this is da'if and those stories, So here we go. This is Sunan al-Nasa'i, and this is sahih. And here this is Mishkat al-Masabih, and this is Sahih Muslim, and this is Tirmidhi. All of those are sahih hadith. So if we go and read, we will see the following. Let us go to the shortest one to avoid long story.
So like he was fighting with the devil. Like he's like, no, give me back. Give me back my butt hairs.
Yeah, but nobody can see the
like he's
Muhammad.
tugging on it.
So look what happened.
Yeah, he's playing tug of war.
Chapter of cursing Iblis, seeking refuge with Allah. SWT from him while he's praying. The Messenger of Allah stood praying, and we heard him say, I seek refuge with Allah from you. And then he said, I curse you with the curse of Allah. 3 times. Remember, 3 times again. The Christians are people of Trinity, but everything in Islam 3 times. And then,
Everything's three.
yeah, and then he stretched out his hand as if to take something. When he finished praying, we said, oh, Messenger of Allah, we heard you say something in your prayer that we never heard you say before. We saw you stretching out your hand. And he said, the enemy of Allah, Iblis, come with a brand of fire to throw it at my face. So I said, seek refuge with you, Allah, from you 3 times. Then I wanted to take hold of him. By Allah, were it not the prayer of our brother Sulaiman, he would have been tied up this morning, so the children of Medina, they can see him. He claimed he was going to capture him and tie him up, and they can see him. And look here how stupid he is. How they are with you, and they could not see him. And now you are saying, I will capture him so you can see him.
Oh, so no. When he captures him, then they'll see him.
How you can capture something is invisible, and how you can capture someone can go through walls.
No, because I think, Christian Prince, you think that our generation invented the VR, like virtual reality. But I think that Muhammad had it back then, the technology.
Well, he's just mental illness. This is just a mental illness. Obviously, this man is suffering from mental illness. He imagined things. I remember
not normal.
and the hadith says, Aisha, she said the Prophet was bewitched, so he started imagining he have things which in fact he did not, including sex. So all those stories prove to us one thing, that this man is mentally ill. This man wanna capture shaitan. How, this guy, he lived all his life, he could not capture shaitan once, as long as it's so easy. And then he remembered the prayer of Sulaiman. What Sulaiman he did? Sulaiman, he says, did shaitan go free? Sulaiman is a friend of shaitan. Yeah. What the heck is that? So the story doesn't make sense. The man obviously is imagining things. Nobody saw what he saw. And he's trying to grab him. And look what he said, that the shaitan is trying to throw a fire at him. Fire, is not the shaitan now. So fire should be visible.
Yeah.
Fire is not the shaitan. Shaitan is a shaitan. And the fire is a fire he want to throw at Muhammad. Actually, he is throwing it at Muhammad. So how come nobody saw the fire? Let us say Muhammad, he saw the shaitan. Only nobody can see him because Muhammad, he have special features. But how come the others could not see the fire? In different hadith, we see that Muhammad, as somebody said in the chat, he said, don't forget that Muhammad, he converted shaitan to Islam.
Oh yes, of course. Surah Al-Jinn, right?
Surah
Al-Jinn.
Okay, that story there.
Yeah.
A group of jinn, they become Muslim, but those are not shaitan.
They make you even think crazy, like it's like when you're reciting Quran, you're wondering how many genies are listening with you. Maybe I should convert them too.
The story of the genie?
No.
Okay. Have you ever heard the story?
I think I remember. Yes, I heard the story in school, and that he was reciting Quran, and then some genies they became Muslim from hearing
That's
it.
what they say, yeah. But there's a bigger story behind this, where a group of men who they are black, African.
Yeah.
They met him in the road, and they start riding Muhammad. Did you know the story?
No.
Yeah. So, and this is additional story proving to us that Muhammad is mentally ill. Guys, imagine a prophet of Allah, and the hadith says, let me find you the hadith. Here we go. Let us see if I can find it in the English translation. Maybe we can find it in English. Let us see, because this is in the Tirmidhi. It should be in the Tirmidhi. Here we go. We found it in English. We are lucky. I will give it to you, Sarah, so you can read it in your time, as a gift from me. So you can give it to your uncle. Tell him that your prophet,
Yeah.
a bunch of
And he-
African,
Yeah.
they were riding him like a donkey. So from Ibn Mas'ud, this is the truth. I mean, it says there they rode him
Yeah.
all day. They rode him all day, and they are naked men riding the Prophet of Allah all day until he cannot move, he cannot walk. You know, what is Allah? Why they are doing that? According to Muhammad, those are genie. They are genie.
Yeah, that
So
would be a nice one to send my uncle. I'm sure he'll enjoy
yeah.
it.
So here you see, I was sitting and suppose there's a witness here. Then, so the story here it says, like Muhammad, he see as usual, he see things nobody see. So he said here, Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, until he went to him in the wide valley of Mecca, he set him down, and then he drew a line around him. You know that the people they believe that if you draw a line around you, that protect you from shaitan. This is the belief of the Yazidi.
That's like witchcraft, right?
Witchcraft, yeah. There's Yazidi, they believe in that. So if you broke the line, then shaitan, he can attack you. Then he said, do not go beyond this line, for indeed there shall come some men to you, but do not speak to them, for they shall not speak to you. How they will not speak to you? And you say don't speak to them. So what the point? And then he said, then the Messenger of Allah went to where wanted to go, and while I was sitting within the line which he told him to sit, remember. So he sat behind the line. Some men come to me, and that appeared they were from the Zot. Zot means black. I don't want to use the word in English, but it's a very bad word for the black people. Yeah, it's not the black only; it's more than the black. I think the black they knew what I'm saying. Between two brackets, dark people either from North Africa or India. See, they are asking you to see the reference, and then both their hands and their bodies. I did not see nakedness nor covering. In Arabic, it says that they are wearing nothing, but he could not see this false translation. I could not see their private part, but they are naked.
Oh, because it's night. Is it night?
Maybe I don't know. But no, I don't think it's a night time. No, it's not a night time because they were doing that the whole day until the night. Then ended before, but they did not pass the line. Then they turned toward the Messenger of Allah. So now the guy is inside the circle, but Muhammad is outside the circle. So now he's not protected.
Oh, how did he get out of the circle?
No, the other guy is inside the circle.
Oh, but why is Muhammad? Oh,
because
okay.
Muhammad is
So
smart. So the Messenger of Allah. So they turned toward the Messenger of Allah, and when it was near the end of the night, the Messenger of Allah came to me while I was sitting, and he said, "I have been awake watching all night." Then he turned into the line with me. He lay down inside the line now, and he slept. The Messenger of Allah would snore when he slept. So while I was sitting there, the Messenger of Allah.
Is this a dream or this happened
No,
for real?
This is supposedly a true story.
Oh, wow.
The guy is sleeping next to him. Yeah. You see, you can go in the beginning.
Wow.
You can go in the beginning. Nowhere it says this is a dream. Nowhere it says that.
So this is a real, like him and a friend out in the middle of nowhere. They drew a circle.
Exactly. Yeah. And then it
And then some black men.
Yeah. And then he entered into the line with me and lay down all night and sleep. And the Messenger of Allah would snore when he slept. So while I was sitting there, the Messenger of Allah was sleeping with his head resting on my thigh. Look at look how cute.
So romantic, yeah.
There appeared some men wearing white garment, and Allah knows best just how handsome they were. They come toward me, and a group of them sat on the head of Allah Messenger. But I want to see what it says they wrote him. Maybe this hadith doesn't say that.
Sat on his head?
They said it's beside of his head. Yeah, you see this hadith here, it doesn't say that they wrote him. Let us go to different hadith. This is not the one we want. Let's see. Yeah, this is different hadith.
And in Arabic it says riding
Yeah.
in Arabic.
Sorry, what? Yeah. I will show it in Arabic. Good, you speak Arabic, so I will show it to you. You can read Arabic. It says in Arabic, yarkabun. You know what yarkabun mean?
Yeah, I do.
Which is a very dirty word too, by the way. It's not only just I mean, because it have a bad meaning.
Yeah.
قوم من الظل. Let's see. يركبون الرسول. Let's see.
Do you know the Muslim TV preacher called Omar Khalid?
Yeah,
Omar Khalid.
I can speak like him. ويجي الغسول والغسول يا جماعة ده الغسول لما يجي هتموتوا فيه ده حلو يجنن
We used to watch him every Ramadan, and we're all like, mesmerized. But it's all, it's like a spiritual blindness. It's really like you were blind and now you see.
Yeah, I found
Really?
the hadith. There we go, and
Yeah.
I will put it for you on the screen. But this is the one which I could not find in English. This is Musnad Ahmad, page number 399, volume number 1, and here it says يركبون الرسول. Here we go. You see?
And why is the detail there handsome? Why did they have to say handsome men?
The other
Why
one,
is that
yeah, the other
detail
one, those
important?
maybe those are angels. Maybe they are angels there because they are white. Remember, the black ones,
Oh,
according
white
to Islam,
ones.
always they are bad ones.
But
And the
they're,
white
I
ones,
thought they're wearing the white clothes.
yeah, they are
but,
white clothes, and no, not the black one.
But they're white too?
No, those
Oh.
are different. Yeah, different.
Oh,
But
okay.
read with
Those
me.
were naked.
Yeah, read
Okay.
with me now. This is the same story but different details. And this is hadith number 3778, and I will send you the link. It says here, the Messenger of Allah, he sent me to go, and I went with him. Until we arrived to a place, etc., etc. And then he put for me a line, the same as the story, in the line. And he said to me, don't go out of this line, otherwise you will be destroyed. And he continued out of the line, going out. And then he said, he saw a group of people. They are قوم كأنهم قوم من الظل, which means they are as if they are like African. And then إن شاء الله ليس عليهم ثياب ولا أرى سوآتهم طوال قليل لحمهم. They are not wearing any clothes, but I could not see their private parts. And they are skinny. They don't have too much meat. And then he said, فأتوا فجعلوا يركبون رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. Do you see it?
Yeah.
يركبون رسول الله. They are riding the messenger of Allah all day. And not only that, he continued. وقد جعل النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يقرأ عليهم. So the Prophet of Allah, he was reading Quran for them. And they come around me, and they scare me, and they dance around me. And then they stay away from me, but they are riding still Muhammad. And then when Muhammad came, it says here. And then when I said, until the morning came, they left. And then the Messenger of Allah, he came, he was so heavy with pain, or he is in pain because of how much they rode him. Do you see it? Let me use Google Translation so everybody
How
can
can
see.
this be true? Like, how is this real? And why would they record it?
I mean, Muslims are crazy. What I can say? I mean, this is crazy. You know?
It is.
Yeah. If it's true, I mean, this is horrible. If it's not true, it's horrible. You know. So this is.
If it's true, why record it? Why go and announce it to all the followers?
Yeah, and, you know,
Unless he was
it's
proud of
embarrassing.
it, right?
And
Unless he was normal.
all night they are riding the Prophet. And here in English, you see, it says they rode the Prophet all night. And then the Prophet, he came and he was so tired. He came heavy in pain, and they began to ride him all day until the morning. You know, and the Prophet, he came with, he is really heavily in pain. And those men, they are black, they are naked, and they are tall with little flesh, not much of a flesh. And then say they, even in Google Translation says, so they came and they made them write the messenger of Allah. You see?
Yeah.
And they keep writing him until in the morning, and then it says here, and the messenger of Allah, he came and he was heavily in pain because of what they wrote.
Yeah, that's
And let me send
so
you the link. This is Arabic, but you
disgusting.
can use Google Translation in case your uncle you do not know how to read
Yeah.
Arabic.
Yeah.
And this is
Yeah,
the
he
link,
needs
guys, for
this.
those who want to see the reference. You can just open the link in Google Translation, and this is islamweb.net. This is not a Christian website. It's not a Muslim website, and this is Musnad Ahmad. So a Muslim cannot say, "Oh, this is not a trustworthy source." This is Musnad Ahmad. So as you see, this religion is mentally ill,
Yeah.
and this is a proof
And
to
you
us
know,
one
he
thing.
tries to send me like videos to, to sway my heart. And listen, the first video that I watched from you was the video, because I follow Jordan Peterson, and I used to watch David Wood when he was on YouTube.
Yeah.
And David Wood at the time would talk a lot about Muhammad hijab. And so, like, there was a lot of mixes of different videos with, Jordan Peterson, Muhammad hijab. Anyway, one video you had was you showing us the clip where Muhammad hijab is reciting Quran to Jordan Peterson.
Yeah.
And the way you were making fun of Muslims and how they like to put that in background, the echo when they're reciting the
Yeah.
Quran. And I just, it made me laugh because that's literally like the videos my uncle sends me is some sheikh and there's the music in the background. Not music, the humming, right? The humming.
Yeah.
Because there's music is haram, and the imam is just talking like nonsense. It's like all emotional driven. There's no substance, but this is what they like to watch. And
But you notice that hijab, when he was speaking to Jorgensen, the video has
Yeah.
no echo, right?
yeah,
So why he's adding echo?
then later
You know why?
to touch the hearts.
Yeah. So not only that, he want to make himself like he sound better, but
Uh-huh.
but the
Yeah.
drama is this. Actually, what he did to prove Islam to be false, because he recited that verse which says that this is the Quran. If you recite it to somebody, even if it's a mountain, he will collapse.
Wow. Melt the heart.
Yeah, will melt, will melt the heart and will make you believe. So why this guy did not convert to Islam based in the let's say in the experiment of Mimi hijab? I will recite for him the Quran. The guy, he will collapse, and then people will say Allahu Akbar. What happened is the opposite.
Yeah.
So the guy did not actually. The guy, he said to him, "What? I don't understand why you did that."
Yeah, it was so embarrassing. I was cringing, like I'm embarrassed for him. I'm embarrassed for Muhammad hijab because it's just embarrassing, like for him to.
Then, you notice that this guy Mimi hijab,
Yeah.
he lied in his debate in everything he said to David. I don't know if you noticed that. He claimed as an example, David would ask him, because the whole debate about God
Praying
is one,
to
and praying,
Allah or
and
about
Allah have
yeah.
a body part. So he asked him, "Is your God Allah have a body part? Don't he have a body part?" He said, "No. Who said so?" But all of us, we knew. Every single Muslim, he understand very well. If I type right now on YouTube, Allah have hands, we will find tons of videos, including the friends of Mimi hijab. Even his friends, they say yes, Allah have hands, Allah has a foot. So, but in the debate, they deny it. And this is telling you that when Muslims they debate, they lose their honesty. There is no decency. There's no decency, and you cannot debate somebody have no decency, because debate have to be between two decent people.
Yeah.
If you remember too, Mimi hijab, he made a video against me saying I said to Muslim women, suckle me.
Yeah.
The Muslim woman, she called me and she said, and we have the video there, she said Jesus was playing with the boobs of his mother. I said to her, you are being filthy. There's no need to insult Jesus. You claim to be
Yeah, I thought Muslims respect Jesus.
Yeah.
So,
and not only that, I said, in fact, it was your prophet who said, suckle the breast of men, suckle me. Mimi Hijab, because he's a faith, illiterate trash person, he took that part. He did not play what the women she said, and they claim that she is so young. She is like a baby. A baby
yeah,
who is
innocent.
speaking about playing with the breast. So they have no decency. All what they care for is how to win an argument even by lying. And this
Yeah.
is telling you that this religion is religion of the devil, because if they have decency, like if you call me right now and you say, Jesus said that, I will say, yes, Jesus said that. I'm not going to change the meaning of the Bible for your sake. You like
Yeah.
it, like it. You don't like it, who cares? But Muslims, they do change the meaning so they can convert people to Islam and they can protect Islam. And this is what is called in the Quran taqiyya.
Yeah,
You know?
that's right.
Yeah. So this is a religion. Because of the lack of decency, then we find that their prophet was not decent. Isn't the prophet? He says you can lie to your wife.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, how in the world and the wife can lie to her husband, right?
I never heard that other part when I was growing up. I only heard you can lie to your wife or the enemy or something.
No,
like
you can lie to your wife.
Yeah.
And you can lie, and the wife can lie to her husband. And here you need to ask yourself, and this is why you see your father, he was lying to your mother about going to the
Yeah.
nightclub, right?
And it's normal. Yeah.
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 So he don't feel guilty,
Guilty. Yeah.
because this is his right. And your mother, she have no right to question why he's lying, because he have the right to lie. But in the hadith says that Muhammad, he said that the speech of the man to his wife and the women to her husband, both are allowed to be lying. And this is telling us why Islamic society is horribly destroyed. Yesterday I was seeing the news, Arabic news. They were speaking about an average of 40 to 46% of divorce in the Muslim society. Imagine, from 100%, 46 divorce. And even the marriage who continue, it doesn't continue more than 5 years. Like this is the long,
Wow.
this is the good marriage. Rarely you will find somebody is marrying for a long time, and most of those are the one who cannot afford to have a new wife. Not because they are good, but because he cannot afford it. If he cannot afford it, right away he will change the wife with a brand new wife. She is younger, more beautiful, and he play with it. You remember the hadith where Muhammad
No, I
asked,
believe.
Huh?
My dad, he married another wife.
"Oh, your dad, he married a second woman, huh?"
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Not now. Like when I was 10 years old.
Oh boy. So
Yeah. He was.
yeah. Well, you see,
He broke my heart. Yeah.
well,
He broke my heart.
What about your mom?
I know. I would watch her cry. She didn't know, what to do. But then she starts to convince herself, no, the God allows this. This is wisdom from God somehow. And no one's holding the men accountable. They're just, if they have like a temptation or something, they're allowed to, do it without thinking, and the women just have to accept it.
Muhammad, because he needs fighters, he don't care for women.
Yeah.
So all his
Right.
religion is made for the men, not for the women. Like you will find all the
Yeah.
promises, the whole Quran. When the Quran
Mhm.
speak about promises, it's the promise for
Yes.
the man. Like a woman, she will go to heaven, but what she will be? You know
She'll
what?
be in the tent,
She will
sitting
be
there.
exactly, not only in the tent, she will be jailed in the tent,
Yeah.
right? So
And sadly, it's like the man. He can have so many options of women, but you're stuck with the husband that married another wife on you. Like the husband you hate, you have to go find him in heaven. That's if you end up in
yeah,
heaven.
because now he own you. That's it. He own you. What about a woman? She married 10 husbands before. Which one?
Oh yeah, which one is she? Which tent, right? Whose tent?
Yeah.
In other words,
So the
whose
women,
tent is
like
she
the
in?
Quran says in many verses, as an example, chapter 55, verse number 56 says, those women, they will be restrained in their galans or their tent. and no genie and no human made them lose their virginity skin. Very disgusting language, you know. So here you will notice that Muhammad is speaking to the man, the macho man, who liked to be the first man to sleep with the women. And those women, they are restrained in their tent, which is made from ruby, 72-mile ruby, and or 70-mile ruby.
I think I want to go back and be Muslim, I think.
Yeah, so you can get the ruby, right?
Yeah.
Zakir
If the
Naik,
tent made out of ruby, then why not, right?
yeah, Zakir Naik, a woman, she asked him, she said, how come the Muslim man, he will get 72, but the Muslim women, she don't get 72 men? He said to her, بدأت تتر قد كلمتين تو اثنين that how come Muslim man they have hur? I tell you تتر inshallah you will have hur too, because the word hur in the Quran mean women and mean for men. So you inshallah تتر you will get hur. So now the woman, she is excited, she will get 72
She's happy
men
now.
to sleep with her. I mean, aren't you even ashamed? Do you even have a shame? You are just telling the women that she will go in a tent and she will, I'm trying to be polite, because you are with me on the
Yeah.
she will go in a tent and she will be with 72 men doing boom boom to her. I mean, what kind of religion this religion is? So it's so stupid, it's so sexual, it's so eidetic, like it's a mental religion. And
And they promised us this is heaven. You go to heaven, the ground is pearls, the sand is pearls, and then there's a river of chocolate, there's a river of wine, there's a river of honey, and the river of yogurt. Just different rivers of different drinks. And I'm like, that's just very weird. Why does it have to be like a lake or a river,
yeah,
Why can't I just enjoy the drink without having to swim in it?
river of milk. How do we have cows in the other side? What does that mean? I mean, river of milk. What about faucet? I mean, okay, and river of wine.
Yeah,
So those are promises. It's just to make the person live in an imagination or delusion, so he can go and kill and fight and die. But obviously, Muhammad himself did not believe in this heaven. Otherwise, because he promised him that the one who is a shaheed or a martyr, he will get way more reward, right? So why he don't go to be a shaheed like the rest, like Osama bin Laden? He hide and he sent the men to die.
Yeah.
But he's the
But
last
don't
one.
you know the hadith that apparently, if you're traveling and you're on your way to study,
Yeah, you are a shaheed.
then
too.
if you die on the way, you're shaheed.
Yeah,
If you're
those are made up.
all
like,
of that
there's
nonsense.
many hadith that are made up. Like as an example, I'm not sure if you heard this one. The Prophet, he says, seek knowledge even if it's in China.
Yes,
But you will
but
never
that's not a real hadith,
yeah,
right?
you will never find this hadith anywhere, I remember when I was in school, we have this in every classroom.
I know.
And then,
I've heard it.
I mean,
many times.
it's very popular, and yet we cannot find one place it says this hadith. Nowhere, where is this hadith coming from? So they fabricate a story, or the story of Muhammad. He went inside the cave, and then the spider, they made the web,
Yes.
and they protected him. Where is the hadith? All they fabricate tons of stories about Muhammad miracles because they want you to believe, and nobody question. Who they are to question? If I make now a speech, Mimi Hijab was debating David Wood. Mimi Hijab, he laughed, he lie. The Muslim, they laugh. Not a single one of them, he says to him, shame on you, man, you are lying. This is not what Islam teaching. Shouldn't they say to him, if I say something, the Muslim, they have 100 videos to refute me, right? But Mimi Hijab, he lie about his God having body, have hands, have a face. He said, not a single verse in the Quran. Not a single verse. Sorry. He said, not a single Jew. Not a single Jew believed that God has a son. But the Quran says that the Jews, they worship Uzair. So, David Woody is not really good in debate. He don't have the skills to get those people busted. Otherwise, this guy is a joker. That's why he don't dare to debate me. He will not dare.
Yeah, but you're right about how Muslims debate. It's like a popularity contest. It's like who can be the loudest and who can make fun of you the
Mockery,
most. That's
mockery.
how they think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how they think they're winning.
Yeah.
like children. They're not really debating anything.
Yeah, this is why they don't dare to do that with me, because I will deal with them in the way they like. If they want to do mockery,
Yeah.
I will mock them. I will make them look so stupid, so they stay away from me. You will notice that the Muslim, they want to debate everybody, but here those they
Yeah.
claim to be famous, but here they avoid it. Nobody want to call. Nobody want to challenge. They want to debate me only face to face. They knew, because I don't know. I don't go anywhere. So only face to face. I challenge Christian Prince face to face. He is hiding. He is wearing a veil, and they, and so on. But can they? But we will see them debating opposite prophet, not face to face, right?
Yeah.
So how come only
Yeah.
me face to face? Because simply they're trying to find an excuse, so it's not going to happen. Very simple.
Yeah.
But everything in this religion is stupid from the beginning to the end. And not to forget, the funny is that your uncle, he is seeking contradiction in the Bible, as he claimed. But did he even read the Bible? No. But
He claims he did. He
no,
claims.
those are coming
See,
from
that's what
Muslim website. No, Muslim website, Muslim videos.
Yeah.
They did not read, because if you read, you will find that you are wrong. So, like the other day, a Muslim, he says that what Jesus says, that the Father is the only God. But he did not want to read the verse before it, which says, "And you are, I'm your son." So
Yeah.
he want this. He want this.
So he found it on an article, right?
Yeah. So he want only a verse. He don't want to read the verse before. He don't want to read the verse after. He want, So, but we Christian, we don't believe that Jesus is the Father. We believe that Jesus is the Son, and the Father is the Father. The Father is not the Son, and the Son is not the Father. And when a Muslim, he says, how that can be possible? How can God be three and one at the same time? But isn't it God is God, which means everything He can do? We ask Muslims. There is
I
something.
liked one video David Wood made. I really liked the way he described the Trinity. He said, so he's explaining it to Muslims. He said, okay, let's say there's three different surah. Let's say Al-Kahf, Al-Baqarah, and Al-Fatiha. Are they the same? They're not the same. Each one is different. Is each one, do we consider it Quran? Yes. But it's all, each one is different, but you consider them together.
The whole.
Quran
Yeah.
in the book.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
I really like that imagery. It was very
that is part of the
nice.
statement. There's many ways,
Yeah.
to explain it.
Yeah.
Like, we try to make it simple for the Muslims. As an example, when I say, now we don't believe in those examples. We are using them just to explain. So, like when we see about the sun have heat, the sun have light. The sun is there. It's a star, right? And the sun send its heat down to earth, which we don't see, but we feel. And the light is something we see, but we cannot touch, or we cannot hold. So the sun is the three together is a sun, not one. If one of them is missing, the sun is not the sun, because we will not even see the sun. If the light is gone, we will not recognize the sun. If the heat is gone, then that means the light is gone, because the heat is coming with the light.
Yeah.
It's not coming by itself. So when you speak about Christianity, and the Muslim, they question how God can be three and one. They forgot that a human being have a soul,
Yeah.
have a body, and if we ask him, and have a mind, mind, because if your body without a mind, like you hear about people, they have a brain, they are brain dead, correct? Brain dead. What happens if you are brain dead? You are dead. If they don't put machine on you, you will die within 15-20 minutes.
So your body's functioning, but you're not there.
Yeah, but then the body will stop functioning, because the brain is not in control. That's it. The body will collapse. So if the brain is dead, then the rest will die. And the same, if your soul come out of your body, you are dead, and the flesh is a flesh. So here we go. I am a human being. I have a flesh. I have a soul, and I have a brain. I have a mind. Three.
Yeah.
All of them is me, and my flesh is me. My soul is me, my brain is me, but each one of them is different. The brain have a job is to control the functions of the body. The soul is the power of life, and the flesh is material. As simple as that. One of them
And
is missing.
I want to understand why Muslims even believe in the Antichrist. Like, well, how is that connected even to Muslims? You know?
Yeah, and this is a problem for Muhammad. You see, Muhammad, because he was trying to convince the Jews and the Christians that he is close to them, he is a pagan. And then when he moved to the city of Medina, he started learning about Judaism and Christianity. So he started, let us say, inserting things into his religion to make himself more appealing to the Christian and the Jews. But yet he could not. As an example, the hadith says, Muhammad said, if only 10 Jews, only 10, converted to Islam, the Jews will convert. Which means Muhammad, he could not even make his religion convincing to 10 Jews. The Muslim, they say, he meant rabbi, false. The hadith says, and you speak Arabic, لو آمن بي عشرة من اليهود لآمن باليهود. If 10 only 10 believe in me, the rest of the Jews, they will believe in me. So Muhammad was a big failure to the point not even at 10 Jews, they believe in him. He can only make them believe if he conquered them, enslaved them, and then he gave them a choice to convert or die. But as you see, when it comes to debate and argument and belief, not even 10 Jews believe in Muhammad. Big failure. At the same time, Muhammad, he makes many stories. Like you see Christianity, stories like Mary is a virgin. But if you ask a Muslim, okay, what's the purpose of this story? No, in Islam doesn't make sense. Because, you know,
Yeah, why is Jesus the only one?
not only
Yeah,
that,
that's
not only
special.
that, Sarah. Now, if you get married and you get you deliver a child and you claim that you were virgin, who can prove it? Nobody. Who can disapprove it? Nobody. You know what I mean? So this is a miracle nobody can prove or disapprove. Nobody. So what the point of it? And why Jesus is born of a virgin? It have to give a reason. Why Muhammad did not have a such a thing, and why this woman? What happened? But in Christianity, it makes sense because in Christianity, Jesus is the Son of God. He is not the son of any man, so it makes sense that he is a son. He's born of a virgin by the flesh, but he have no father except the Father. So in Islam, who is the father of Jesus?
It's just random. Just random.
Yeah, who is the father of Jesus? There's no father. That cannot be acceptable. Is in the Quran. In the Quran, it says, وَجَعَلْنَاهُ نَسَبًا وَصِهْرًا, which means we made it by a sexual relationship and marriage. Okay, so anything else is not for Allah. All right. So how the Messiah is not included? If the Quran says everything after Adam, chapter 25, verse number 54, وهو الذي خلق من الماء بشرا فجعله نسبا وصهرا وكان ربك قديرا. It is He who made the created you from water as a human, and then He made from that water, made it relationship by marriage or by sexual relationship. So is Jesus is a fruit of marriage? No. If you read the interpretation, you can open in Tafsir, you will see they are saying that Adam, the first Adam, was created from mud. After that, a human being, they are reproduced by sexual and marriage. Okay?
Yeah.
Every human being. This is a destiny. That's it. There's no. But Jesus is not. He's not a son of marriage, and he is not a son of relationship, sexual relationship, and that explains why we as a Christians believe in such a thing. Because if Jesus is God who sent down from heaven by the Father, this is why Jesus says, "I am from above, you are from below." There's no explanation for that except what it is. I am from above, you are from below. And Jesus, who have no father except the Father in heaven, this is why he don't have a father in the earth. He don't. In the Quran, when Muhammad took the story about Jesus, he adopted some stories the Christian believe in. He inserted in the Quran became more stupid because now he did not explain to us what is the purpose. years. And how we can prove it? And why Muhammad is not the son of a woman like Mary? The Muslim, they say that Muhammad is the most honorable man, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. How the most honorable man, his mother is najis, and his father is najis. Isn't it the Quran says, al-mushrikuna najis, which means
Yeah.
filthy? So, if the mushrikeen are najis, and the father and the mother of Muhammad, and not only that, his uncles, his grandfather, all of them, they are najis. So Muhammad is born of a najis family, including his parents. If we go to Jesus, what we will find? Jesus is born from the pure Mary.
Yeah.
The best women, Allah, like the Quran Islam, Allah, He chosen to have Jesus. Then,
Favorite. Yeah.
favorite. She is the best. So how
Yeah.
Muhammad, his mother, is the worst, and she is najis, and why Jesus is it from David? Is it from Mary? Is it from Imran? Is it from look at the chain of Jesus in the Quran. I mean, all of those are great men. Who is the great man of Muhammad? Nobody. His
And what
grandfather is
can
pagan.
you?
His uncle is a pagan. He is a pagan, and they kiss stones.
And they used to teach us when we were in school that Muhammad was known in his between his people as a Sadiq al-Amin.
Yeah, Sadiq al-Amin.
And where did this come from? Because from listening to you, it seemed like he was garbage.
You see, he's not only garbage, he is filthy as a dog. Why? Imagine, Sarah, your husband, he have a father, and he come to you, and then he flirt with you. What you describe the father of your husband then? God forbid. He's a dog, right?
Yeah.
I mean, this is, you will take off your shoe, and you will
Low.
throw it at him.
I lose all respect for that person.
Yeah. So
I have no
Muhammad,
respect.
he went to the house of his own son. This is why he is in the house, because this is his son. So he's taken advantage of what he claimed to be a relationship between father and son. And Muhammad, he announced, he said, everybody listen, I am the father of Zayd, and Zaydun from me, and I am from Zayd. He announced it clear. Zayd is his son. And then what he do? He go to the house when the husband is not there. And here you need to ask yourself, the Muslim, they claim that we should not go inside the house if the woman is alone, right? So why he get in? And why he is flirting? If somebody say to me, oh, he could not control himself what? I mean,
Yeah,
you see,
that's the excuse they always give.
what control himself?
A man
more
can't
ugly.
control himself.
Yeah, it's more ugly.
Yeah,
First of
they
all,
say.
she is your own daughter-in-law. Secondly, you are a prophet of God. Number 3, she is married. Number 4, she is in her house. Number 5, the husband is not there.
Yeah.
So he's taking advantage. He's doing everything wrong. You know, the Bible speaks about David.
Yeah.
There's a story about a person he sent him to war. He took his wife. He liked her. He married her, and then you will
And
see
then
in the
God
Bible.
took his firstborn
You will
kid.
see in the Bible, God condemned the action.
Yeah.
Right?
And he killed his son too.
Exactly, and even his son, which came from that relation, died.
Yeah.
But in the Quran, Allah, He make verses for Muhammad. Why you are saying to the man, keep your wife?
Why are you? Yeah.
But
It's like God is telling him, why do you have any shame? Have zero shame. Go and do.
don't not only that. Here you see that Muhammad is a hypocrite too. Muhammad, he made this verse claiming Allah told him. But if you read the verse carefully, you will see that Muhammad here is saying that I did lie to the guy, said to him, keep your wife when I want her, and Allah told me to take her. So Muhammad, he is not even honest. Okay, shouldn't you say to the guy, okay, Allah told me I want to take your wife? Tell him.
Yeah.
He's a follower of you too. He's your son, he's your follower too. And the funny is, more story getting more funny, that Zainab, I don't know if you saw that in my video, when after the Prophet, he flirted with her, Allah, he made the private part of Zayd swell. Each time, he tried to get close to her. And here you ask yourself, like you see the Muslim, they say, we ask the Muslims, what is the miracle of Muhammad? It turned to be the miracle of Muhammad is about private part. And here you ask yourself, the God of Islam, he did not show his power to the Arab to prove Muhammad is a prophet but he was able to make the private part. I was going to say that word. Private part of Zayd swell when he want to get close to his wife. I mean,
Yeah,
what
very
kind of
important
God?
things.
But why he want to do that? I mean, this guy is a husband. She's lawful for him, right? So
Yeah.
why you make the private part of the man swell? And not only that, and here you notice actually, I believe that Zainab, she is sleeping with Muhammad already because she is making up stories about her husband. Why a woman she want to say each time my husband after that he tried to sleep with me, Allah he make his private.
So she can justify what she like what would
Exactly.
happen next.
Exactly. So she looked at what she have. She said, "Oh, this is a guy. He is son by adoption."
This is a sign from God, that I should be with Muhammad, not.
Yeah, but yeah, she's making up stories,
Yeah,
And the reason is the real reason is, Zayd he was a slave. He's nobody. Muhammad is a king.
yeah. She wants to be with the king.
Exactly. Why she want to be with someone he is nobody when she can be the wife of this man? And then when you see the stories, you will see that Muhammad he have a privilege. He have a lot of a privilege, and all those privileges either about money or sex. And here I'm opening the tafsir of Al-Qurtubi from the Saudi Arabia website. I will show you where it says تورم منه ذلك. I'm glad that you speak Arabic, Arabic. Here it says وفي بعض الروايات أن زيدا تورم ذلك منه حين أراد أن يقربها. You see it?
Yeah.
I mean, how in the world that can be a prophet of God? The man is sleeping, the prophet of Allah sleeping with his own son wife. The wife obviously is cheating her husband.
Yeah.
Allah is telling Muhammad, this is yours, take her. But at that moment she is married. And you know that this is obviously totally the opposite of what Jesus teach. 100%, Jesus said it's better for you to take off your eye. Just take it, Yeah. So there is a huge difference between what Muhammad he came with and what Jesus is about. And this is why you mentioned something very important. You said why there's not too much stories about Jesus. Because what Muhammad will do, we call Jesus saying don't do that.
Yeah.
He will call
And
Jesus
I mean,
decency.
just putting mentioning Jesus next to Muhammad, I don't think anybody would believe in Muhammad. They'll all
So he
they'll all
tried
be
to
so
dim the light.
curious to learn about Jesus.
Yeah, he make little corner about Jesus. He is not crucified. He did not nothing for you. He is nobody. And then he claimed, he said, I am the eraser. I will erase Judaism and I will erase Christianity. That is the devil talking.
Yeah.
He will erase Christianity. But obviously the opposite is happening. And we see a lot of Muslims leaving Islam. And if you go in the Middle East now, you will see that nobody really cares for Islam. This is why when ISIS came,
that's true.
to
That's very
force
true.
Islam, ISIS came. ISIS, what ISIS? ISIS are the true Muslims.
Yeah.
Even this guy, the pimp, Andrew Tate, he said the truth. He said ISIS are the true Muslims.
Well, it works for him to be a Muslim, right? Because
exactly. That's why he liked it. That's why he liked it. He liked to beat women. He liked to abuse women. He liked to rape women. So ISIS is the true religion, true Islam. And he did not lie in this case. No, he did not. And
I had a friend when I was in school, like from elementary to high school, and me and her, we were always competing together, like in the women's like Quran tilawa competitions. And finally in high school, in grade 12, we were sitting together waiting for our turns. And then she said, you know what, Sarah, I don't even believe in Islam. I think I'm an atheist. And I looked at her and I thought she was one of the most devout,
Yeah.
I was so shocked. I'm like, what?
Because maybe the way she dressed, the way she, But when you go in deep in details, if she got her freedom to speak, then you will hear different story.
I mean, it seemed like she was very zealous for Allah or whatever, but it's just true. But I think she was very wise. She was very brave because I was I was afraid because if you become a kafir, then that's unforgivable and you go to hell. So I did never.
And not only
I would
the
question.
community will treat you like a piece of garbage.
Yeah, like sometimes I would ask my mom so many questions. Like some days I would be so frustrated. I'd ask so many questions after each other. Like then my mom would say, "Hey, it sounds like you're starting to ask, too many questions, and that's not good." And she would like almost accuse me of kufr. Like it was kind of like dangerous that I'm asking so much questions. So
Yeah, that's why
it's
the
like you
Quran,
just have to
chapter
stop.
5, verse 101 says, ask not questions. Verse number
Yeah.
102 says, because former generation asked the same questions and they lost their faith.
Yes.
Today, Washington Post, New York Post, sorry, they publish new news about Andrew Tate, and they found out that this guy he was connecting, he's trapping very young girls. He even he looked in Instagram for people who live in his area. He found a girl. She is 16 years old, but she is a son of somebody working politician. You can read the article in New York Post. And then there's a woman. She used to work in the police. She became his pimp, let us say, assistant. And now this woman, she's arrested.
Recruiter.
Yeah, recruiter, manager. You have many of them.
Yeah.
The New York Post, they have the article. I'm not going to show the whole article because there's some pictures they are naked. But this is here. Look, this is who are those people. I convert to Islam because Islam all is about desire. The man desire. I can control. I can beat. I can change. I can cheat. I can lie, and it fit for me. It fit perfectly. I will not feel guilty. Christianity, it's a horrible for me because I will be feeling guilty. I will feel I'm sinner. I will feel dirty. I will feel like I am. I will feel down. But in Islam, all of this.
And I also heard him say something like, Christians, they let people make fun of Jesus and they allow people to step on their religion. But Muslims, if you say one thing about their religion, they'll come after you. They'll kill you, and he likes that.
Yeah.
He thinks that's really
but
nice.
By the way, even this one is not true. I mean, here we go. We are laughing at Muhammad day and night. Where are the Muslims who came to us? Even that is not true. Maybe you see, the Muslims they do that when they are the majority, not when they are not. So the bravery is not the bravery because they are brave, but because they control the country. Yeah, they control the country and the law in their side, and the police in their side, and the judge in their side, and now they are brave. But you take them to a different place, you will find that rarely you will find a man he want to do it. And if there is somebody, this will be very rare. The majority they don't. Nobody will dare to do so. As you know, everybody is making videos about Muhammad. Everybody making books. Like there's after more than 25 or 30 years, they try to attempt to kill Salman Rushdie. And he's Hezbollah. He's not even a Muslim Sunni. But generally speaking, they are really cowards. They are not really brave. Look at Israel. I mean, just look at Israel.
I know.
They are bowing down to Israel, asking Israel for help. They are terrified not from the Christians, not from because they know the Christian will not attack them. They are not terrified from the Jews because they knew Israel is not really going to attack them. They are terrified from Iran.
Yeah.
Iran is real big concern. They are terrified. They are shaking and they are big in America, big in Israel. Please help us. Iran is coming. And if they go and war with Iran, if not America and Israel, I trust me, Saudi Arabia will be captured in less than 24 hours.
Yes, I know. Yeah.
The army of the Arab is a shish kebab. Everybody knows that.
Yep.
They are not an army. If you go to Saudi Arabia, you will see everyone in the army. His belly is bigger than the belly of a woman. She's going to deliver a baby.
Not even belly. They have big butts too.
They cannot run. They have big butts. And even the one, like they show you in TV, they have like 100 strong men. But show us the whole army so we can laugh.
And they're all sitting and drinking tea and smoking cigarettes.
And not only that, even the one they put for you in the TV, mostly they are not even from the country. They are recruiting them from Pakistan, from other countries, like even Jordan. Jordan, they don't even have the majority of the pilot is from Pakistan. Bahrain is the same. They are short of Muslim Sunni. They are bringing Pakistani to Bahrain. So they don't have an army. They cannot fight anybody. You know, like Saddam Hussein, the best example. Saddam Hussein, he want to fight America. America, we are going, and he called them cows. And then in less than 12 hours, the American army was in the middle of Baghdad. So they claim that they are heroes, but in reality, 2,000 men, they were controlling Afghanistan. 2,000 Marine. Taliban is more than 160,000 fighters. In Afghanistan, there was only 2,000 Marines. How in the world Taliban did not attack the 2,000? Because they knew they cannot. So
Yeah.
they claim bravery. They are brave only if they are big in number and you are by yourself. Then you will find a lot of knives and you are the crowd. But when they are not the majority, then everybody is a coward. And this is all the same.
And I noticed also, like, most of the people who call, to debate Islam, sadly, they're like people who don't even know what they're talking about. They don't even understand Arabic. They're mostly like Pakistani. And I noticed, the Pakistanis, they're more strict about Islam than the Arabs. Like in Canada, the Pakistanis, they only eat halal, and the girls they wear hijab very young age, and they're like so consumed with Islam, and sadly, they're the ones who are like, they're pushing, like they're trying to do. They're so proud of it, but Muslims, they don't even respect them,
Yeah.
to begin with.
Yeah, and they
It's
consider
sad.
them a second-hand citizen.
Yes, yeah.
Women.
They don't respect at all.
Yeah, women, they are stupid. They have half brain, and yeah. Actually, there is a video. I forgot the name of the woman. She was debating a Muslim. I forgot who. Uh, this Muslim woman, she's an ex-Muslim like you. She debated a Muslim man, and she made him a shish kebab, literally. Literally. You can see if you go. I saw that in the video of Apostate Prophet. I saw that in Ali Dawa video. He was upset how he could not refute. There's a guy, he's a blonde guy, I forget his name. He was saying, what happened to him? How a woman she do that to him? How he could not put her in her place? They could not take it that a woman, she made
Yeah.
Islam look like a chicken. She was taking the feather of the chicken one by one, and the Abdul, he could not answer. So when the Muslim, they say, and thank you for Muhammad for saying that women are half a brain, you help us to bring the best of the brain to be Christians, because we don't believe that women are half a brain, for they are children of God too, the same as the men. Private part doesn't make you smarter. You see, in the Old Testament and the New Testament, the man is the one in charge of the house, but there is a reason for that. This is not because the woman, she is half a brain, and not because she is a bad person, but we are living in a society where it's a society of the man. The man, he work, the man, he defend, the man, he is present the house, the man, and this is the society. But not because the woman, she is nobody, not because the woman, she is stupid. And you will notice that the house of Jesus have Mary in the Quran. Remember, in the Quran, there's only Mary. There's no husband, right?
Yeah.
Was Mary half a brain?
Well, it looks like Mary was not important at all. She was just like the airport for Jesus to come.
According to them, yeah.
Yeah.
But notice here that when the angel came to Mary, Mary, she did not shrink and bring and go crazy and cover me, cover me, cover me. But Mary, she is the female, and Muhammad is the male. Yet Muhammad, he went so crazy, he was snoring like a camel. He asked his wife to cover him, and he said to her, what's wrong with me? But Mary, who is the girl, young girl, she saw the angel. She said to him, I seek refuge by God from you. Quiet, comfortable. She is not terrified. She did not run. Do you remember the story of Muhammad? He ran away each time the angel, he speak to him when he do poo-poo.
Oh no, but
Okay.
I've heard you speak about it.
Yeah. In the Quran, chapter of Al-Fatiha, if you go to the book, it's called Asbab al-Nuzul, the reason for the verse to come. So it says, كلما تبرز الرسول, each time he go to do buraz, you know what buraz means?
Yeah.
So, or baraz al-Rasul.
Yeah.
So each time he
Exposes
try to do
butt.
poo, he hear a voice, he hear a voice says, oh, Muhammad. And what Muhammad he do? He flee.
Wow.
Here it says, the Messenger of Allah, Allah bless him and give him peace. Whenever he went out, you know what does that mean?
Yeah.
He used to hear someone calling him, oh Muhammad. And whenever he heard this, he used to flee.
That's scary.
Do you see how many proof we have that this guy is mentally ill?
Yeah.
The Muslim, they will say, well, he got scared. Why he scared? Already he spoke to the angel many times.
And why at the toilet? And why when he's pooing do the angels
Yeah,
come?
but you know what? We have to be honest here, Sarah. You know that the prophet, his poo is different.
Oh, I forgot.
Don't you know the hadith
You're
says that the earth
It's perfume. It's perfume.
It's perfume, yeah. Not only that,
His armpits stink is perfume.
perfume.
Remember?
And Aisha, she said that she never saw the poo of a prophet of Allah. Each time she go to the bathroom, there's no poo. It's gone. The earth swallow it. Yeah. And the hadith says that the earth opened its mouth and swallowed the poo of the prophet. And the smell in the bathroom is like a perfume, more than a perfume. So this is not so this is telling you that it's a perfect time to receive Quran. But what make it more crazy that Muhammad.
But the dog prevents the Quran from coming.
But why he's
somehow.
fleeing? Why
Yeah,
he's
why
fleeing? If you because this is Al-Fatiha. Al-Fatiha is not the beginning of Islam. Al-Fatiha is at the end. So if Muhammad he spoke many times to the angel already, he used to hear him. The angel speak to him. Why he do flee? And look what happened. Waraqa ibn Nawfal advised the prophet to remain in his place. Here we go. Waraqa, he appeared again. Waraqa ibn Nawfal advised the prophet to remain in his place. When the caller called him, that he hear what he wanna say. And then when he went out, he heard the calling, oh Muhammad. He said, here I am in your service. The caller said, say, I bear witness there is no God but Allah. And I bear witness that Muhammad is the messenger of Allah. Muhammad taking shahada.
Wow.
Muhammad saying there's no messenger but Muhammad.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. And then he gave him the chapter of Al-Fatiha, brother.
Yeah.
Where in the time of doing poo. So all of this is telling us that this man is mentally ill. He imagines things, he hears voices, as the hadith says. The other day I asked a Muslim, I don't know if you were watching, I asked him, your prophet, he received the Quran as a sound of a bell.
Oh yes, I heard that one. Yeah.
And then what he said to me, he said, okay, sound of a bell, but not bell. Okay, sound of a bell,
Yeah.
not bell, sound of a bell.
Like a bell.
All right.
Yeah.
So he heard the sound of a bell. Then how the Quran became an Arabic?
And it has to be in Arabic. That's the problem. Like the spell is not universal. It needs to be Arabic.
And what make it more funny that Muhammad he said that the bell is the instrument of Shaitan.
Mm-hmm.
So if Shaitan want to speak,
so he's literally telling us what's going on.
Exactly. He's telling us that Shaitan is the one giving him Quran. Because if he's receiving Quran as a sound of a bell, and he said this is the hardest on me, I cannot, and then he said that Shaitan, his musical instrument is the bell. So this is Shaitan playing Quran, and he is the one making Quran. And Muhammad was receiving Quran from Shaitan. And this is what Salman Rushdie was saying in his book when Muslim in their Quran says that Muhammad he received satanic verses. And the funny is, the Quran says Muhammad received satanic verses. A guy who left Islam, he says Muhammad received satanic verses. The Muslim get angry from him. But he just quoting what your prophet said and what the Quran saying.
Yeah.
Why you are not upset from the Quran? The Quran says
they find
Muhammad.
A way to twist it every time.
Yeah. So the prophet he received satanic verses, and here we go. He is a prophet of Satan, because if I receive verses from Satan, that make me a messenger of Satan. who is the one who sent the message? And even Muhammad, he said that Shaitan, he converted his Satan to Islam, and he ordered me to do not but good. You don't order him anything but to do good. You know this hadith, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. How Shaitan converted to Islam? Sounds like everybody. This is why Andre Tate, the pimp, he converted to Islam. Is a Shaitan. This guy is literally a Shaitan. You know.
Yeah.
If you look.
You know, the sad thing is, you know, he's targeting the young generation. He says a lot of things that sound traditional and honorable, and then he mixes it with, you know, very low things like, you know, he thinks that a man, you know, can cheat on the woman he's with and have multiple wives.
Yeah, he make it as if he is being like the successful man, you know, when he cheat, like when he brag about he was
the alpha.
You know, he was speaking to 6 women in the same time, and each one of them, she think that he is the only one.
Yeah, he was bragging about it.
Yeah, he's so proud about his decency, how the success, and he's teaching young men how to treat women. And those are stupid ones. There is always stupid ones. They will believe it and they will follow it.
Yeah.
You know. Because,
you know, I started to, in a little bit, become a little manipulated by it, because it's like, you know, this guy is like a representation of the way the men think. A lot of the men think, because it seems like his supporters are mostly men. And you know, as a woman, you're thinking, you know, should I be, like he's trying to say, you know, if you're a cool woman, like you're easygoing, you should be accepting, you know, just be cool if, you know, the man you're with is cheating, as long as he buys you what you want. And like, it's very sick. If you so I stopped watching him, and he's really, because he became very popular at one point.
Yeah, you see guys how those people are so dangerous. Here we go. She just told you her experience. At what your ages was at that time when you felt like he is influencing you too?
Yeah, just this year,
Okay.
like just earlier.
So you see,
a few months.
like you know, this evil man, he, you know, because when you see a huge number of people, they listen to him and they take him as an example, then you think that the way he lives is the right way. But we know that all is satanic, you know. And look, actually, I predicted that this person is going to be punished severely for his crimes. God will punish him, so he will go, he will end somewhere. I was sure, but I wasn't expecting it to be so soon. You know, so soon. Actually, a week before I spoke about it, and then a few days after, the guy even arrested. And now every few hours there's new news. Like here now, the neighbors are speaking about him and what they knew about his compound and his rape and trafficking business. More people are coming as witnesses, more news is coming. But this is a great example for those who worship the devil. The devil can look for you successful. And yes, the devil is successful. The devil will be rich. The devil will have new cars. The devil will have masculine. He will have, he is powerful. But the devil always will go under our feet, no matter how long. So don't be a fool. This is a great example. I'm so glad that he is arrested now. But now I am sure some stupid one, they will say, oh, this is a setup. I mean, the guy, he keeps saying he's a pimp.
Yes, yeah. How can you be a honorable pimp? Like, how does this work? You know, he's a good pimp.
Yeah. So how in the world you are saying it's a setup? You know, at the same time, you see, setup things can happen in the Middle East, not in Europe. What setup? I mean, are you fooling yourself? Setup? What setup? I can say, okay, one woman maybe she accused him, but there is 6 women, and now more women are coming. And now they have his security camera, they have his phone, they have his videos published on the internet himself, bragging about fooling and lying to women and using them for sex. The video is there. Actually, me myself, I saw it. He said, I left England. I was totally broke. I'm just quoting him word by word.
Oh yes, I did hear that one. Yeah.
I left England. I was totally broke, And then I called 6 girlfriends. Each one of them, she think that she is the only one. And the video is there. And then I told them, come, let us get rich. So he spoke to the first one. He said, go in the camera, we need to make money. The second one, go in the camera, we need to make money. So now each one, she is in different location, getting naked to make him money. To make him money. And then he come to the point, he have too many women and he is making $600,000 a month. This is his video. I'm not saying things from my own. $600,000 a month from those poor women. And then they say to you, you will find people still, because you know there's many, they have, they wish they are the macho man, but they cannot be. So they see in him, he is the macho, he can do it, but I cannot do it. So I am a follower. You know what I mean? When a person is a coward, he look for a hero. He cannot be the hero, so he look for a hero. But the fact this hero is a coward himself too, because let me tell you something. A real man is not the one who beat a woman. A brave man is not the one who show his bravery in raping women. A real man is the one who protect women, not the opposite. I remember when I was a kid, I have, you know, a kid, as a kid, you know, you fight with your sister, and she cried. And my dad, he said to me, why you did that? I said, you know, give him excuse. He said, listen, you're a man. A real man, you don't beat girls. Never do that.
Yeah, speaking of this topic too, like I was the oldest sibling in my family, and like I said, I grew up with boys, and when they grew up and became taller and bigger than me, there was zero respect for me. You know, I was being pushed around, and they would take advantage. You know, like take something from me, I couldn't get it, or push me, and I didn't feel respected or loved. You know, they'd kick me out of the room, and I'd look at my parents like, are you gonna, you know, do anything like to help? Or you know, they didn't care, because now, you know, they're men and this is what men do. You have to just accept that you're a weak, you
Yeah,
know,
you are the weak,
female.
yeah.
And you know, it's just it's sad more than it makes me mad, because you know, my brothers, we grew up, we were very close before they became big.
Yeah.
And like
But
my
you know,
heart,
the brother, they are doing what they are doing because this is what they learn from the parents and the society. That a female,
Yeah.
she is nobody, you know.
Yeah.
She is, and not only that, you will notice in Islamic society, in the Middle East in general, if a boy he go around, sleep around, nobody.
yeah, it's
complain.
normal.
It's
yeah.
very okay. You know, even the parents, the mother, they even proud of him.
They know.
But
Yeah,
if the daughter she do that, she is in big trouble, you know. But the boy sleep around, he stay late, he go sleep around, he drink, he smoke, there is a problem. If the girl doing that, there's no problem for the boy. A very, very, very hypocrite society. Everything is upside down. Everything. I never saw a society as corrupt as Islamic society. And even
Yeah.
Christians who live in the Middle East, by the way, they've been affected by the corruption of Islam, and some of them, they act like them too. You will find even in the Christian society, Arab Christians, you will find if the boy he do the same as Muslims. If the girl she do, no, you cannot do that.